Alright, this is Chi-Chi, and she's back. She's pretty hungry and pretty thirsty. She's had a pretty long day because she's new and she's such an odd little critter. Both my family and Chris's just kind of want to just check out and see what she is, how she's doing. Just kind of looking at a bunch of weird stuff that she does. She's kind of odd. Sorry, I'm going to be standing in my light. It's pretty awful, but I don't want to turn the flash on my camera because she'll, like, freak out. Yeah, she's had a long day. I'm going to say that, on average, you want them to be out and about and handled about half an hour a day, just to make sure that they stay socialized. I'm going to say that since we've had her and we got her Monday night, and today is now Wednesday night, I'm going to say that she's probably had 6 or 7 solid hours of constant handling, which it could go either way with the good and the bad. I mean, she knows that there's people that are going to touch her, so I mean that's always good, which means that she's getting better with human contact. So that's always good. And I realized that since we've only had her for a short while, I have not gone over what we have for her. Well, for my breeder, we were given this little water bottle, this little guy right here, and I don't like it. The ball does not form a suction, and it drips everywhere. So what we did was there's a little water dish that our breeder actually gave us for food. But it's nice and has a large bottom, and it's very not flippable, made of ceramic. So we put her water in there, and we just used bottled Ice Mountain. And then this is going to sound kind of odd, but her food is actually in a Lucky's butter dish that I may or may not have kleptoed, just because these things are absolutely useful for everything. And for her food, we are using this stuff. It's called Spike's Delight by Pet Pro. We bought 3 pounds of it from our breeder, but I really like it. I've done a lot of research into hedgehog food, and this is like the best of the best that you're gonna find in a hedgehog diet. And we also have mealworms for her. We have the live ones. She has not shown any interest in them, but it happens, I guess. I shouldn't be doing this because she probably just wants us to leave her alone. But we have a large 12-inch wheel. It's silent. It's really nice. There's some shavings in there, but that has to be cleaned out every day because of the fact that at night when she's running, well, she's diurnal, so that means she's up mostly at night and dawn and dusk, essentially. Part of their natural instinct is that they're supposed to do their business while they're running, which is what they would do in the wild. And so while she's running, she does her business, which means that, like about here and here be where her little feet are, and the rest of that is just all poop. Which isn't that bad. It's not that hard to clean. Just use some diluted Dawn dish soap, and that's what I've been using, and some hot water, and it scrubs right out. You want to have a little thermometer in here that tells you how warm it is. And then what is causing that warmth is we have a little heater in the house. We also have a little ceramic heat emitter. And then that is attached to, this is all for reptiles, by the way, our little heat control unit. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. You can control the heat for it, how much heat that is actually emitting. You want it to be between 72 and about 80-ish, just because that's going to be the best temperature for them, because if it gets any colder than that, then you run a risk of your hedgehog going into hibernation. And hibernation is never good, just because African pygmy hedgehogs, as opposed to their European relatives, they do not store enough fat to survive a hibernation. So more than likely, if it's not treated and reversed immediately, then your little hedgehog will probably die. When no one wants that. And in her cage, I'm actually going to turn my flash on now so that we can see what's going to go on. And I'm sorry if I blinded anybody. We just have this little toilet paper tube we cut in half. She also has shown not much interest in this, just because I don't think she understands what's going on with it yet. She's only 8 weeks old. She was born on March 11th. We have a large fleece tube that she quite enjoys, but she's not in here right now. It matches her sack, her little fleece sack, and for some reason she enjoys sleeping underneath it. And she's very cranky, but there she is. She enjoys sleeping underneath it more than on top of it, and I'm pretty sure it's because she gets too warm at night. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit. But that is inside of her cage. It's a large-sized rabbit cage, in case any of you were wondering. And pardon my mess, it's going to get kind of gross for a second, but this is kind of where we've been keeping all of her stuff. You have a large fleece sack for her, and the string was, a large fleece sack for her, and the string was just a little bit too long, so I had to tie it. This is kind of like for carrying. We just had her in it before we put her away, so there's probably some poop in there. This is actually the little sack that I just made her. I just learned how to sew, and this was it. It's completely reversible. It's nice and big and soft, and it's what they like. But for when I take her to the vet, or if we take her in the car or anything, we have this nice large one. And I like this one for the fact that it has a nice mesh opening, and it's just full of fleece scraps and a terry cloth towel, or a microfiber towel, that Chris and I slept with. So it had our scent, so that when we picked her up from her breeder, she wasn't all freaking out on the way home. Which, by the way, she's still freaked out. This is the toothbrush that we're going to use. It's just the 3D white. It's a soft bristle, so it's not going to hurt her. And this is our bedding. It's called Planet Petco. It's Petco brand. It's a softwood and paper mixed bedding. I really don't have anything negative to say against it at this point, but mostly because we've only been using it for a few days. She seems to like it. It gives her something nice and soft to burrow in. And actually within the next few weeks, we're going to be phasing out of the solid paper mix bedding and going straight to a fleece. And then in her, and like a little litter pan underneath her wheel, we will be doing a tray full of bedding. But yeah, that's just my little setup I have for her. It's a Marchioro brand cage. But I mean, it's very large. If you do a cage like this, a mesh cage, make sure that you do something that is meant for like a rabbit or a guinea pig or something like that. They need a lot of room, so anything like that is always good. And I think that is all I have for her as of this moment right now. I mean, I'm in the middle of getting more little bags made for her, these little sleep sacks. And if I get good enough, eventually I might sell them for consecutively less than what you find online. But yeah, that's it. Let's see if I can get her to say goodnight or if she's just going to get all cranky at me because I'm going to turn this off real quick though. Or let's see what she does. Yep, she's all mad. Alright, say goodnight, Chi-Chi. No, she's just going to go to bed. Alright, well, okay. And as always, have a good night. And make sure that if you were thinking about getting a hedgehog, make sure that you do plenty of research. They're not meant for everybody. So just make sure that you do a lot of research. And that is it for tonight. Alright, love you. Bye-bye.